there were no more tornadoes forming, so I'm gonna film like one of these. And even though I live in what is known as Tornado Alley, I'd actually never seen one in person either. That was until April 29th, 2022, when one dropped down just a few miles from my house.
Dude, it's so pretty outside. Holy shit, it's right there. This is not cool.
Coincidentally, 31 years ago, almost to the day, this same small town was the victim of one of the most destructive tornadoes in the state's history. On April 26th, 1991, a warning of impending severe weather was issued all across the Great Plains as radar showed formation of supercells, the potential precursor to tornadoes. As the day unfolded, over 50 tornadoes formed across 6 Midwestern states, leading to over 300 injuries and 24 people killed. Now, you're probably thinking, wouldn't 50 tornadoes injure far more than 300 people? Well, the reason for that is most of these tornadoes were relatively tame, ranking low on the EF scale and only lasting a few miles. But there was one that was anything but tame. The town of Andover, I live just outside of here in Kansas, was the only one of these tornadoes to top the scale at F5. Leaving a devastating 46-mile path, this single tornado grew to over a mile wide and was responsible for over 200 of the 300 injured and 17 of the 24 people killed. It also tore through the McConnell Air Force Base, causing over $300 million in damage. This can actually be considered lucky, knowing that it narrowly missed a lineup of 10 B-1 bombers, 2 of which were armed with nuclear warheads at the time. And even though this recent tornado wasn't as powerful as the one in 1991, trust me, it does not need to be an F5 to completely blow your mind. No pun intended.
It's hailing and there's a goddamn tornado. Yo!
Oh my god.
Yo! Holy shit! Oh my fucking god.
You've never seen one yourself?
Dude, I've never seen a tornado in my life.
Seeing this thing form right in front of me was somehow way more exciting than it was terrifying, despite it being just a few miles from my house. It's hard to find words for how I felt watching this thing with my own eyes, but the closest I can come up with is,
that is so fucking insane.
my roommate Cam and I couldn't help but just stand there watching this thing. It didn't seem real.
Bro, how close do you think that is?
That's kind of close. Yeah. You can see the dirt on the ground going crazy.
That was until the phone call from my very concerned mother sort of snapped us out of it, and we realized we should either get in the basement or get in the car and drive away.
All I want to do is drive near it and get the coolest pictures ever.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad we didn't do that, because within just a few minutes it had already traveled several miles and grew way bigger. Not to mention, even professional storm chasers have been killed from tornadoes turning unexpectedly, and I'm just some dude with a camera and a car. Once we were a safe distance away and the tornado was weakening, we pulled over to take in the apocalyptic yet beautiful sky before returning home.
Yo, it's still absurd out here.
Holy shit! That was crazy. Let me gather myself here. So the footage you guys just saw happened like an hour ago. As you can hear, it's still crazy outside.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my cat still wants outside. Don't you know you're gonna die, bro? Please, give up.
Oh dude, I have to tell him the story about you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so my friend Cameron, who's holding this camera right now, moved here 3 weeks ago from Oregon. And when he was making the drive here, his mom sent me a text and said, make sure you give Cam a briefing on what to do in the event of a tornado. I was like, we've never seen tornadoes in my life, even though we're in Tornado Valley. And then of course, 3 weeks later, you bastard.
I'm all the bad luck.
The worst luck? I think you might be bad luck, Cameron. Holy shit.
And yeah, we're still on a tornado watch right now. So we're just hoping the phone doesn't make that scary noise again. Fortunately, there were no more tornadoes forming, so we spent the next few hours watching the clips people were posting on social media. This is when I realized that although the tornado looked mesmerizing for us, it was horrifying for those in its path.
Holy fucking shit! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
It tore through neighborhoods, this elementary school, and even the YMCA I've went to for years. But miraculously, the local authorities still had the death toll at 0 5 hours after it had ended. I knew that if I was gonna make make a video about this, I'd want to show the aftermath of what had happened, but I felt hesitant showing people's homes even if no one had died. But as we kept watching videos, we started to realize that everyone was already doing that. So in the middle of the night, when we could be the most out of the way, we went to go check it out in case they shut down more of the town the next day. And this is what we saw.
There's a line to get into the town.
Oh my god.
Yeah, wow. Look at that.
That's a whole tree on this side.
Yo, there is trees.
That's a tree.
We are in the debris zone. Oh my fucking god, dude. This is bizarre. We are 3 minutes from my house, and this is what the neighborhoods look like. The news is here. Just alarms going off, just fire alarms. I don't think I've ever seen anything crazier in my entire life. This is so f***ed. Oh my god, this is a car on top of a garage with another car. So this is a school right next to the YMCA. Thank God it was at the end of the day and no one was in class.
The next day, as expected, there were roadblocks and law enforcement everywhere. Everything was so restricted that even drones weren't allowed to be flown over the town. So all we could do was drive through some of the rural areas, but they were definitely still affected. We saw people already working away, cleaning and fixing things up, and using the drone, we found a few unlucky houses that seemed as if the tornado decided to hit them on purpose. Like, really? You couldn't have gone anywhere else? After getting to see some of the damage, we decided to just stay out of Andover for the day and try again tomorrow. And sure enough, the next day the drone ban had been lifted, so we packed up our gear and headed to the first spot. This is one side of Central Park, still green and beautiful, but as you go towards the side that was hit, well, the footage kinda says it all. Just look at that huge path of trees it ripped through. Like, what the hell? Next, I flew over the YMCA where some of the scariest videos were posted, and yes, that's a pile of cars smashed into the building. Filming this really hit the hardest for me since I'd spent tons of time here every year since I was a kid, and it's totally possible that myself or any of my friends could have been here on this particular night. Venturing further into town and seeing more of the spots that got hit invoked a lot of different emotions. On one hand, it was obviously shocking and sad to see people walking around what was left of their homes, but on the other, we saw those providing relief and even some smiling and laughing with each other in seemingly high spirits. To be fair, it could have been the case that their houses were the ones somehow unscathed despite being right next door or across the street, but for some reason, I doubt that. I think these folks were choosing to stay positive despite their lot. To be there to joke and relate with one another, even if their houses just got absolutely yeeted by a tornado. Because, hey, at least no one was killed, right? I can't say how I would have reacted if it was my house that was hit. Well, it probably would have went something. Will be rebuilt, and the town will bounce back